Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin has continued the sell-off today, which is good to see. It's basically continuing the pattern that we saw already develop in the last few days. A couple of days ago, we already talked about this, that this could be the beginning of this C wave, but it wasn't very evident yet. Price is giving us some more evidence. Earlier today, we've already seen that additional sell-off, and throughout the day, it has continued. Actually, it hit now this next support level that I indicated in the last video at 48,820, and I wanted to see a sustained break below that level to really confirm further that the C wave is unfolding. Now, of course, the market rarely makes it that easy, so of course it finds some support at that level. We haven't got that sustained break below support. It is possible that we're now starting a wave 2. I've changed the microstructure a little bit to the last video. It doesn't change anything really, but it changes just the projection basically. I remember in the last video I had a problem with the targets to the downside. It seemed like a very short wave C, but this seems more suitable. Yeah, that we're basically dealing here with an expanded you could say of expanding a diagonal basically to the downside. But again, it's not a very well defined trend line down there. It might even be that we had something like that and it broke out or something. So it's not a very clear pattern that's developing here. Certainly not impulsive to the downside. So I think it's going to be a bumpy ride to the downside. It's got 5 waves down though. At least that's what it seems like to me. I haven't got a great read of the microstructure. That's best I can do with 5 waves down in a leading diagonal. I will probably change that a few times. What you need to understand is it's just the same message throughout with these corrections. We have to be on our toes. It doesn't really, the microstructure isn't important so much. It's basically just the noise. What is really important is what's the range, and the range goes down to $34,070. And I explained it in the last video anyway. So anything between where the price is now and $34,070, or you could say between where the price is now and the end of the C wave, where exactly that will be, we will determine along the way. It's just noise. Okay, what really matters is where does the first impulse show, and do we actually hold support above $34,070? So they are the things that matter. Everything that happens here is literally just noise. There'll be a lot of up and down due to it not being an impulse, but rather a diagonal or something else. I don't exactly know what it is yet, so we'll see. Certainly I can give you some levels to watch. Obviously today's swing low is very important to confirm further the sell-off in wave C. The resistance has been adjusted to 43,033 to 43,837. So as long as the price stays below that level, the downside pressure should remain high. I see it as a 5-wave move to the downside. We might now be entering wave 2 corrective rally. It's, again, the microstructure is extremely difficult to read. Could be that it's starting now, but it's a bit too early to confirm. But it would be an ideal spot to start that wave 2 corrective rally. Could be weak. If we see a break above 43,837, it would rather shift probabilities again towards maybe another reset of wave B higher. Of course, something we have to expect in these corrections. But that cannot be the preference as long as we've broken above resistance. And also above resistance, this is not an invalidation point for the direct move down. It will only become invalidated, this C wave down, with a break above the $44,408 level, basically. This swing high that was made on Friday the 22nd. But yeah, so just be aware, we've got resistance here, above resistance, probabilities for an invalidation of the C wave down increase. But until then, I'm just watching this pattern here, see how it fills in. Again, smaller time frame count is just noise. What really matters in this correction is that we get this ABC structure that we wanted to see. And we've got the A, we've got the B, and maybe we're now in the C. And we'll just have to be flexible about how exactly the individual structures develop. But the Elliott waves as well as Fibonacci support resistance zones give us some parameters to watch that define this pattern. And when the market starts to move outside of those parameters, it is when we need to carry out some adjustments to the wave count. If you take a look at this chart, you might see that it might turn into a head and shoulders pattern here. It might do. Yeah, just talking about just this left shoulder head. If it comes down a little lower, maybe then the right shoulder, and then we could get that further sell-off there. That might take us deeper into the support zone, but we're still miles away from that 50% retracement level, which is critical, because only below that level, again, we talk about parameters here, only below that level I really have to change the scenario or wave count and look for a much deeper pullback towards maybe, the area between 29 and 20k roughly. But that's not at the moment primarily on the radar. I just want to get this correction done, okay, and then we look at higher. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.